Okay. Ah, look, it's starting. It's so.
I have the butterflies in the stomach now.
Yeah. At least I think so.
Oh no. No, let's get full update. Welcome, Marysville, and thank you for joining us on Charger Chat. Sorry we got our intros mixed up, and so here we have Peter Shove. And for those who don't know, Charger Chat is a student-run live show where we interview various people around Marysville. Welcome, Peter.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So, you are in the police force. Is this correct?
It is.
Correct.
We got one good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, tell us about yourself as a person.
My name is Pete Shove. I am a sergeant with the Marysville Police Department, patrol sergeant. I run a patrol squad. I'm also in charge of our hostage negotiator team. I am over 40. I've been married for 23 years. I have two sons, 22 and 19. And I've been in law enforcement. Originally, I started in 1991, so for a long time.
That must be fun, though.
It is.
Good.
So, besides like a little bit off of like being a police, what hobbies do you have outside of that life?
I mainly do like quiet pursuits, right?
Okay.
Like I have this beautiful shiny Xbox One in my living room.
Oh, great.
And I spend a lot of time in front of that.
Yeah.
I do some writing from time to time. I just recently bought a Parrot Bebop drone, and I've been playing with that like a giant nerd, like startling people in city parks and crashing it.
So cool.
So, but yeah, I just work is busy, work is active,
Yeah.
and it's been a big career for me. And so when I'm off, I just like to do my nerd things and hang out with my wife.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being a nerd.
I know.
All right. So, why do you want to work in this industry, being a police officer and a hostage negotiator?
I got the bug a long time ago, and I still, even today, after all these years, I still find it to be an extremely noble profession, like a very, like we're doing good things, like, and that's the goal, is to do good things and to sort of hold the line, and keep everybody safe. And I still get satisfaction from that. I go home every day and I know that I did something. I did, something besides signing my name or pushing paperwork. I feel like I've accomplished something. Sometimes I accomplish like cool things and I get to go home and tell stories about it. Other days it's not so cool.
Yeah.
But every day is different and I really enjoy it.
I can tell you probably wouldn't be like an office person, kind of. Like you really just kind of like want to be out there.
I do. I got promoted to sergeant 2 years ago, and I've decided that one of the main components of being a police sergeant is signing your name. Like you have to sign your name a lot.
Yeah.
Like 3,000-4,000 times a day it feels like sometimes. So I do end up in the office more than when I was not a sergeant. But sometimes I still just like sweep everything off my desk and go running outside and jump in my car and go chase bad guys.
Would you say that your signature is perfect now that you've been signing it so many times?
No.
Does it like differ sometimes?
No. I mean, it's pretty much the same. But you wouldn't be able to read it if you didn't know who it was.
Yeah.
It's like a doctor's signature. You can never read it.
Yeah. So.
So when you are like just beginning in the police force, what kind of steps do you have to go through to become like get on your level, kind of?
Well, each state has sort of a different process, different standards. So I can really only speak to like Washington State, but you would basically begin the process by applying with a police department. I want to work here, so I do my resume and I fill out an application online or whatever their application process is. And then there's a series of interviews that you go through. To begin with, they'll do like a written test. I don't know if you guys familiar with the ASVAB.
Kind of.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
A lot of them
Yeah.
are like that. It's the bubble sheets, and,
Oh,
you know, story problems. 2 trains are coming from Cincinnati, and so on. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Reading
Story
comprehension,
problems.
the basics.
Yeah.
Then you go through the written test, and you'd go through what's called an oral board, where you would go, like, you get like very sweaty, and you dress up
Oh.
as nice as you can dress up, and you go in, and there's 3 to 5 people sitting across the table from you, and they proceed to interview you. And then they grade you on the quality of your answers and, you know, what you show them. From that point, you get on like a hiring list, and they go through a polygraph examination, lie detector, basically. You'll go through a physical, like go to the doctor and get a full physical. And then they do a psychological evaluation on you, which is like a 4-hour, more bubble sheet tests.
Oh, nice.
You know, sometimes I
Yeah.
feel like a tiger. True or false?
I would click
yeah.
true.
He's like, since it's been 3 hours
That's-
now, I feel like anything.
Yeah, that was my favorite question. That was years ago. So once you get through all those hoops, then you get what's called a hiring list, and they've rated their candidates, their available hires, and you hope that you come out near the top of that list, and then you just wait to possibly get offered a job. Once you get offered the job, then the department will usually send you through the police academy at that point.
Yeah.
So by the time you get to the police academy, you've already been hired by an agency.
And since you did get hired, what's your like the favorite part about being a cop? What do you like most about it?
It's just never the same. Never the same. You know, one day you'll come in and you're driving around like your hair's on fire all day. Not my hair, but people's hair. And you're busy. And the next day it's, you know, catching stray dogs and you know, going to the school to meet new people and be on camera. Or I mean, there's no 2 days that are ever the same.
Definitely.
And for like somebody with a creative, sort of energetic personality, that's a huge deal. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not going into the
Definitely.
same office at the same desk in
Right.
the same cubicle day in and day out.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So now, what do you like least about your job?
Least about my job. I really don't. Well, one of the toughest things for me to deal with is like crimes against children and the elderly, little kids,
Yeah.
super old people. Anytime we get into those where there's some type of an abuse situation with somebody who can't defend themselves, it's very difficult
Right.
to
Yeah.
be sort of that firsthand witness to those sort of events.
Yeah.
So
I
that's probably my least
understand.
favorite.
Yeah. That must be super hard.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So that's hard. I'm sorry. Like I can feel for those people.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? What kind of traits makes a good police officer? I know that there's so many different kinds of people out there, but I guess like in excuse me, excuse me, in your point of view, what do you think are the best traits?
Honestly, communication is probably the top trait that I would like to see in officers. I want somebody working on my squad who can write a phenomenal police report, who's paid attention in English and knows where the commas go and knows how to spell.
Oh
Yes.
man.
And you know what
yeah.
I mean? And knows
Yeah.
how to write.
And knows how to use the ellipses
Yes,
and
because
everything.
there is
Please.
nothing I carry on my belt that is
Yeah.
as effective as the report that I send to the prosecutor's office or whoever. So written and verbal communication skills are an absolute must.
Oh yeah.
You know, I really think that the best police officers are people who are creative, who can look at a situation, and it may be the same situation they've dealt with 1,000 times with different people and maybe 1 or 2 different factors, and they can come up with a creative solution to resolve that situation. So I like fast thinkers, people who are quick on their feet, who are not afraid to talk for an extra 30 seconds to get what they need or to, you know, gain compliance or whatever, and people who have like a solid foundation of common sense and life experience and the willingness to actually interact with people and get to a resolution with these people.
Right.
Yeah. Now, to wrap it in a nutshell, how would you explain the police life is like?
For me,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean the whole police department and the whole world now. You got to think about this.
um,
No, I'm just kidding. You can
Bossy.
think about yourself.
no,
Make
You
a
know-
good chief, Emily.
it really is. Even though there are thousands and thousands and thousands of police officers in this country that I've never met and never will meet, it really boils down to being a team. And so if you want to know what the police life sort of means to me, it's being part of a team of people who have the same goals, who genuinely like each other, and getting to do things that matter with those team members. So it's a very tight-knit group of folks. The flip side of that, what police work means to me, is always remember to get enough sleep.
Oh,
If
man.
that's possible.
Sleep is.
What is sleep?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when you're
So-
in school, sometimes, even if like you're not a police officer, it's like so hard just to remember that you need actual sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the hardest thing.
The
Well-
older you get, the easier it will be to remember that you need sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. And so to wrap this up before we go to our first commercial break, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Right here.
Right here?
Right here doing this.
Just sitting in front of us again?
Police sergeant in
Yep.
Marysville, yeah, updating you. Or whatever. No, this is where I want to be.
Yeah,
I mean, I've worked my
definitely.
whole career to get to Marysville Police Department to where I'm at right now. And I'm enjoying it, so
Yeah.
that's where I'm going to be.
Good, good. So, we are going to go see how this girl deals with continuity in her life. Do you have continuity in your life?
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah. So let's check it out. Come on. Okay.
Another day. There we go. Okay.
Okay. I butchered that little.
Huh?
I was supposed to ask the question before like continuity, but
Good job, though.
did you mute us?
What's up?
That's
Are you okay? What's going on?
Dude, I don't know. Sleep hasn't been my friend lately.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I just wish you would go away. Like some people I know.
So you just want Sleep to go away?
Yeah, I guess. Smarty, I guess.
Hey. I don't need that sass, okay? Calm down. It's gonna be okay. We'll figure out something.
the jacket.
What jacket?
What do you mean, what jacket? You're the one that put it on this morning. I don't know what you.
I didn't. Wear your jacket.
I'm leaving y'all. Y'all a mess.
I need to go. I just need to go see.
Hey, where are you going?
Don't stop following me.
No. I'm pretty sure there's something else going on. It's not the sleep part. What's going on?
Yeah, first you were wearing a jacket. Now then you weren't, and then now you are, and then there's just witchcraft everywhere. I can't handle
You're
it.
going insane.
I think you're going crazy. I had this up earlier.
Think I'm insane? Y'all's insane right now.
No,
Oh my god.
No, you're going insane. Seriously. Nothing's changing. Come on now. Just, hey, just sit down. Everything's gonna be okay. Just sit down. Come on.
Oh,
Come sit down.
all right. Who is this guy?
Who's the guy?
He was always there.
This. Don't even wave at me. Don't witchcraft. Don't even wave to me. You are with them. That's crazy. No. This is sick. This is sick. You all. I need to sleep. I just need to go to sleep. This is all witchcraft. This is just all witchcraft right now.
What's witchcraft?
The stuff you're pulling. This stuff you're. Don't smile. Stop smiling. The stuff you're. Stop. The stuff that you're pulling is which. Stop.
Okay. I honestly think you need to go to sleep because nothing's going on. Nothing's happening. We're all doing the exact same thing. I think you really do need sleep.
Yeah.
You mind your business.
Stop. Stop.
What?
I do need sleep. Welcome, Marysville. Welcome back to our show. And today we have with us Peter Shove. Welcome. And so, what do you think is your greatest failures, and what did you learn from it?
Yeah.
You try to do your best throughout your entire career. As random as this career is, you will often run into situations that you were not expecting to run into. So we are human and we all make mistakes.
Oh yeah.
There's a million things that I could tell you that I've felt like were failures on my part over the course of my career. Probably the one that sticks with me the most is when I worked my first 7 years. I worked for a little city that I grew up in called Omak. It's over north of Wenatchee in eastern Washington. And it was the wild, wild west out there when I started. And
Was there any
super
cowboys?
fun. Huh?
Was there any cowboys?
Oh yeah, there's cowboys.
Good.
Oh,
Good.
Sweet.
But we got into a pursuit one night, my sergeant and I. I was riding, silly me, I got in the passenger seat and decided to ride along with him for a couple hours, even though my shift had ended at 10. I wasn't ready to go home yet. And then we got into a pursuit. And there was a lot of screaming on my side of the car. And lots of, it was winter time. There was like 3 or 4 inches of snow on the ground. And
Oh,
we're doing
wow.
like 70 miles an hour chasing this maniac in a stolen
Oh,
car.
jeez.
Oh, good.
Anyway, so
We
we-
would have gone off at 10.
yeah. So I didn't get home until like 3 o'clock. But we chased this guy for like 32 miles, way out into the county. He finally jumps his car off of a snowbank, like straight out of Dukes of Hazzard, buries it to the door handles, can't get out. He finally manages to get out of the car, and then he's trying to run through 3 or 4 feet of snow. And then me and my sergeant and everybody caught up to him and tackled him. Fight was on. Ah.
Yeah.
So anyway, after it was all over, the dust settled. He's in handcuffs. Everybody's standing around high-fiving like you do. And so I had to search this guy before he got into the patrol car.
Of course.
And so he's big guy, like 6'6",
Oh, wow.
260
Oh, geez.
pounds, drunk, rip raring to go.
Yeah.
And so I search him, and then I search him again because I wasn't sure, because my hands are shaking from the adrenaline.
Oh yeah.
So I take a break, I stick him in the car, sit him in the back seat for a minute, walk around a little bit, pull him out and search him a third time, because I know we've got a 32-minute ride in the dark with this guy to get him to the jail, because we're way
Yeah.
out in no man's land. Search him a third time, stuff him back in the car. We proceed to drive all the way back to the county jail with him. He's talking the whole time, handcuffed behind his back,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. I'm going to ride in the suicide race this year, and that was a fun chase, and I love it when you guys pursue me. We get back to the jail, and I had missed a folding pocket knife about that long
Oh.
that he had down in the small of his back, horizontally behind his belt, tucked away for just that kind of emergency. And he had sliced his wrists open to the bone, handcuffed behind his back,
Ooh.
and proceeded to get blood and everything else all over the back seat of my sergeant's car. And we pulled into the jail, and that's the first time we got some light on him. And the jail sergeant walked out. We opened the door, and it was like, oh.
Oh,
And
geez.
who searched him? First question. I did.
Oh
Hey.
man. Yeah.
I have never forgotten. That's been 18, 19 years ago.
Oh my
I
goodness.
always think about that every time I put somebody in handcuffs or they go in the backseat of my car.
Yeah.
So,
You got to make sure
Oh
that they're
Major
safe
failure.
too. Yeah.
and he was fine.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
fine, you know, eventually.
Oh yeah.
We got over it. There's a couple
Oh.
scars, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was a
it's
pretty
just a
big
little
failure
bit.
on my part. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like searching bad guys after you arrest them, 101. That's like, they beat that into you in the academy day in
Right.
and day out. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So this is now completely off topic of that part, because like I don't know how to top that. What motivates you as a police officer?
So I've always thought of this sort of in very literal, stark terms. Right, wrong, doing your best. And even after all these years and how this job has changed dramatically since I started, and how, it's not perfect. What motivates me still is the desire to sort of be that person that helps my community remain safe and be protected from people who would do us harm and do us evil. And I literally think about things like that all the time. It's my job to prevent people from doing evil things to good people. That's it. And so that motivates me. I like feeling that I'm getting to be a part of that, even if I'm just one little tiny guy in a sea of police.
Well, one small person can save a whole Earth, Middle Earth,
That's right.
from a giant monster
That's
raining
right.
down on them.
I've never felt like Frodo, though. I always felt like
So we
kind of
learned
I
through
kind
Lord
of
of the
felt like I was kind of identified with Faramir a little bit.
I like him.
Yeah, just kind of
I like
chilling
Legolas
out.
because we're both fabulous and hairful
Right.
all the time.
Right.
I like them all. I don't know. Well, now we don't have the copyrights for that right now. So as much as I want to talk about it, oh man, as much as I want to talk about that, in your opinion, what is the difference between a vision and a mission?
Mission is a very specific word for me. It's the sort of end game. This is the goal. The mission is the goal. We're going to go out and we're going to reduce crime by 20% in our city, or we're going to go out and we're going to make sure that we patrol the East Hill as much as possible so that there's no daytime burglaries today.
Yeah.
Vision is sort of a bigger, broader, for me, more of a sort of perception and thinking process for sort of the long-term way that you want to craft yourself or your department or your job.
Yeah.
So I get a lot of missions, but I usually only have one or two visions.
Oh.
I have visions of a nice sandy beach.
Oh yeah.
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 So, I guess by definition, what is a hostage negotiator?
So, oftentimes, folks will barricade themselves inside their homes. Folks that are under extreme stress, domestic violence situations, possibly feeling suicidal. They may or may not have taken someone hostage. They might have just done a bank robbery and taken someone hostage, and they're inside the bank with hostages. And a hostage negotiator is someone who comes in and attempts to establish contact with that person in order to successfully resolve the situation with the minimum of physical violence possible. So, we use active listening skills, and we attempt to establish a rapport with the person and dialogue with them in an attempt to peacefully end whatever high tension situation they've gotten themselves into.
Is it as stressful as defusing a bomb, as some people say?
Well, probably not. I mean, if I make a mistake as a hostage negotiator, I'm 300 to 500 yards away on the other side of a telephone line or something. If I make a mistake on the bomb squad, I'm like, whee!
And then you go everywhere.
Yeah.
But it is stressful.
Oh,
It
yeah,
is
yeah.
very stressful, and it is a big game of chess, and it's really rewarding when you've spent some time and you walked up to a call and this person was brandishing an AK-47 and screaming, "You'll never take me alive." And then, an hour and a half later, they're walking out with their hands up and nobody got hurt. And it's all
Good,
done. I mean,
yeah.
that feels good. I enjoy it.
So I'm guessing that you would have to have a lot of psychological knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, it helps.
Yeah.
It helps in this entire job, not just as a hostage negotiator, but the ability to understand people is a huge component of law enforcement, and it's a huge component of hostage negotiations. To look at or interact with someone and kind of begin to get a feel for what it is that they want what type of person they're going to be when you talk with them. Are they going to shake your hand and tell you that they're having a fantastic day? Or are they going to freak out and bite your face? I mean,
Yeah.
so getting, like, I've made it my life to sort of informally sort of watch people.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Have you ever had to talk to someone face to face?
as a negotiator?
Yeah, as a negotiator, sorry.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's
No?
generally, I mean, it looks awesome in the movies when they do
Yeah.
it, you know.
Like,
but
just going up there and then having a cup
Yeah.
of tea with them, like,
yeah,
it'll
no,
be
it's
okay, man.
super dangerous
Yeah.
to do that in real
Oh,
life.
yeah.
So.
Alright, I guess things aren't like the movie.
Yeah. Not always.
I'm gonna make a life based on a movie.
So, what types of people do you think that you've negotiated with?
A lot of folks who are feeling suicidal. A few folks who have been extremely angry and in a lot of trouble, who just decided they were going to drag it out as long as they could.
Yeah.
A lot of domestic violence situations turn into barricaded subjects. Not a lot, but enough to be, to
Yeah.
keep us active. But negotiating is not all that a negotiator does. Negotiators also, we have a robot we call Bob.
Oh,
Bob
sweet.
is awesome. I should have
Oh,
brought him.
jeez.
But he's like this black, small tank drone thing with like 6 video cameras and a flashlight, and he's got tracks like a tank, and you can talk, and it'll come out through the speaker and all that. And we use Bob. We'll send Bob in. The negotiators will operate Bob, and if we want to know like the layout of the interior of the house, and we've already got an open front door, we want to know where the suspect's at or whatever, we'll drive Bob in there, and
Yeah.
Bob will take a look around, and then it's beaming it all back to our screens.
That's good. Has any of the hostage keepers, the bad guys, ever gotten mad because Bob came in and looked around, or?
I'm sure it has happened, but not that I know of.
Okay.
One of my negotiators actually used Bob to talk a guy out. They negotiated solely through Bob. They didn't use the phones or anything.
He's so cute.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm gonna follow you anywhere.
Yeah.
You're
yeah,
so
yeah.
cute, Bob.
Bob's pretty groovy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So did you have to go through I'm pretty sure you already answered this, but I'm just gonna ask one more time. Did you have to go through an academy to get your amazing police skills?
The academy is where you get the foundation of police skills. It's like graduating high school of law enforcement. You know just enough to be dangerous.
Right.
But
To be lethal.
law enforcement, you are constantly training throughout your entire career. You're constantly going to further education stuff and training courses throughout your entire career. I mean, I left the academy in 1996, and that was a 440-hour academy back then, and I've probably attended 5 or 6 times that much training
Oh, wow.
since.
Yeah.
Over the course of my career. So.
Definitely.
Well, we have a character in this segment, and she also goes through an academy type situation. So let's check it out. Anna's Patrol.
It's
I
Dr.
need so
O'Neill.
many of these things.
Start date 25.7. Recently, I was told that my father died in a Galaxy Patrol accident. I have nothing left except for my PhD and my brother, Paul. I don't really know exactly when the funeral is. I don't even know if he's going to get one. He wasn't liked very much in the Galaxy District. All I know is that I hope I get to see him one last time, I guess.
So, how are you?
Well, I'm pretty good for just knowing that my father just died. I really think it's impossible, to be honest. He was our avid flyer.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering how did it happen?
No one's got any news of it yet. It's been super recent. They're out really far, almost near Saturn. So the details of his death will get here for a while.
I know it doesn't make sense, but he knew this was gonna happen.
Excuse me.
Dad knew it was gonna happen, so he wanted me to get in this.
What is this?
Open it. Find out.
Dear Annis, you may be aware that I have passed. Unfortunate as it is, I knew it was bound to happen. Cade had an evil watch on me for years, and it was him who finally did away with me. But enough about that. Let's talk about you, my dear. In advance, I've signed you up for the most elite squad in the Galaxy Patrol Corps. I know that seems forced, but it'll all make sense to you once you get in. Please trust me, Annis. Please. Love always, Dad.
The old man's gotta be kidding. Me, part of Galaxy Patrol?
Turning in, this is Charger Chat, a student-run live show where we interview various people around Marysville. Today, we have Peter Shove. Now, we're gonna wrap this all up because unfortunately we don't have that much time. If I could, we would go for hours and hours because this is a really fun interview.
Talk a little bit more
So-
about Lord of the Rings. all that
Yeah,
good
we
stuff.
Right.
talked about all of this fun
Yeah.
stuff. Now, these are the fun questions
Fun for who?
for all of us.
All right.
So, could I possibly hire you as my bodyguard or anybody of the police? Mostly because I know you.
I doubt it. There's probably ones that
Oh.
would tell you, sure, absolutely, but no, probably not.
Would they work
Ah.
for free? Because I don't have.
I got a couple
Nothing is
pennies.
free in this world.
Yeah.
Nothing
I
is
could
free.
bake pretty good batch cookies.
Ooh.
Oh, I'll be your personal bodyguard then. Jeez.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely.
yesterday was 420. So were you a little busy yesterday?
I was not. I sat at home and played Mortal Kombat all day.
Really?
Yeah. So I
Oh,
wasn't
wow.
busy at all.
How about your coworkers?
That didn't sound like it. Didn't sound like
Oh.
it.
Yeah.
That's it. To me, I mean, it's not. We're never terribly busy on that holiday.
Yeah.
We're
No.
busier on Christmas and Thanksgiving and New Year's, and you know.
Which is super ironic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like a fun,
There's no rhyme or reason to it, though. Really, I mean,
Yeah.
every holiday is different. So
Now, the funnest question of them all. Are the rumors true? As the police, do you eat donuts and sit in dark alleyway with your partner in the car that go beep beep?
No, you did.
The stereotype.
it was incredibly brave of you to read that. I'll ask you the same thing that I ask people on the side of the road. Do I look like I eat donuts?
Yeah.
Uh,
I eat donuts. Donuts are good.
I would never, on duty in uniform in public, I would not be caught dead eating a donut.
Because of the
Ever.
stereotype?
Yes.
what?
Yeah.
What? No, I would want to make it alive. I would want to make the
No, no, no,
stereotype
no, no.
live.
No, no,
I
that's
would want.
horrible.
I would want
That's
to have
horrible.
Batman on the side, like with me, like going,
You would
yeah.
be amazed at how many police officers like measure out their food and they're on a workout program and they're all, you know, some of them don't eat carbs and some of them are vegan and so, I mean, it's like,
That is so weird.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I never eat a donut, but
No,
I do it like any other grown adult and I go shame eat it in hiding at my house.
Ah.
I'd be that police officer at Krispy Kremes. That's me.
No, no.
Like, hey, I'd be regular.
Yeah. But we do hide in dark alleys, and we do
Okay,
hunt.
cool.
We do hunt in
Good,
packs.
good. At
Cool.
least one thing is true.
Right.
you know.
Right.
All right. Your turn, my lady.
Okay. So, do you agree that toddlers are similar to drunk people?
I don't know.
Your sons were toddlers one time, right?
I don't. Yeah.
Or were they
There are toddlers that I would rather pass off and have to deal with a drunk person.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh.
that's for sure.
But there are drunk people who do act like toddlers. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I
So
think we're out of time,
that
Emily.
that is all the time that we have today. Thank you so much for joining us here on Marysville or I'm sorry. Thank you, Marysville, for joining us on Charger Chat, and thank you for being our guest.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
all
having
have
me.
a nice day now.
Big smiles all around.
Oh, I